Welcome to the Innovation World Young Collaborator podcast series. My name is Maxwell Miller. I am 10 years old and I was born in the U.S.
Hi, my name is Aaron Bother and I'm 15 years old. I'm a junior at Oswego East High School in Oswego, Illinois, in the United States of America. We're both delighted to be attending the People of Play Young Inventor Challenge Conference in Chicago, Illinois, in the United States of America, where we're interviewing young inventors, educators, and sponsors. Our guest for this podcast was the judge for the Young Inventors Challenge, and we're super excited to learn more about it. So, first, could you please introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Tony Serebriany, and I am here in Chicago to attend the People of Play and the Chicago Toy and Game Fair as a publisher. I work for a company called the Op Games, and my particular role or title is I am the Vice President of Inventor Relations, which essentially means I get to travel around the world to various different trade shows and events and meet with game designers where they pitch us their great new potential products, and we filter through thousands of them to try and find the next great ones for us to make.
Amazing. And then, can you tell us a little bit of what inspired you to get into this industry and this role in specific?
Well, as somebody who grew up playing games my whole life, I never imagined that I would ever have the opportunity to end up getting to work in, nor did I maybe even really understand that it was a career path that anybody could go into. But when moving into San Diego, I had the opportunity to join a team who was a licensee of Hasbro making city and state editions of Monopoly games. And so I got to sort of enter on the ground floor on the creative and production team to help make those games a reality. And from there, it's just been a road forward. And I've gotten to wear a lot of hats at the company and do a lot of things. And it's been a fantastic ride. Get to see so many different games and so many different products and be a part of a lot of them.
I love that. It sounds like a lot of fun. So can you tell us about some of the skills that you've had working this job that you think have been most critical to you and that you think other people should try to develop as they enter the toy industry and other industries like it?
That's a really good question. I think there's a lot of skills that anyone can pick up at any different types of jobs and or in different types of educational background that could easily translate into various different aspects to this toy and game industry. Like many industries, we have people that work on accounting and finance. We have people that are part of the logistics and shipping and operational team. We have designers and graphic designers and creative artists that are helping to make things and build things and make things look pretty. We also have project managers and brand developers and brand managers who all have various different backgrounds that may not have even themselves started in the toy and game industry. But you can pick up a lot of those skills working at a whole slew of different types of companies. But if you have a passion and an interest to become employed in the toy and game industry, think about the different types of skill sets of what in the industry may inspire you. So if you want to be a developer or a designer, really get involved in the maker movement, be a builder, be a creator, take classes and do projects that are all about learning the skill set of using your hands and using machinery and using the tools of the trade. The tools of the trade could be literal tools like hammer and nails and saws and drills, or they could be the computer and the different software packages. They could be things that are working in the 2D space or software, so like Photoshop, Illustrator, Quark Express, or the 3D space, so you're using Maya or ZBrush and doing things around sculpting or environment. There's so many different types of things that lend themselves into any kind of career path, but specifically in toy and game, not every aspect or every job in the industry is necessarily creative, but any path that you've had prior to can you can certainly gain some skills in, and they can lead you to a path in this industry.
If you could tell one thing to someone that has an idea for an invention or is currently making an invention, what would it be?
That's another really good question. So there's a lot of online resources, but one of the best things I think in our industry and specifically around inventing and designing, especially for the younger community, is the event here that we're at today, the Chicago Toy and Game Fair. Mary Cousin and her team puts on this an amazing event where all throughout the world it's promoted to get kids 18 and younger to participate in putting forth some level of creative design and or product. And what's great about that is the kids who participate in this program literally come from all over the world and have different levels of experience and skill sets. But they can incorporate their execution of their project or their product into a school program or an after school program, or because they're passionate about it and they just want to do it at home. And then you can lean on the skills or the tools that you have access to at home and or ask mom and dad for some support if they have access to some various different types of tools at their own jobs or even at home. And I think finding resources like the Chicago Toy and Game Fair or some other online resources can lead people who are interested in joining this industry from the creative or development side in a much easier onboarding perspective. And there are certainly some educational programs that lean into it as well, but there's also some other national programs and some national online resources which I'm sure you guys will plug and post here after the podcast as well.
Yeah, this fair it's evident that everyone here is learning so much about the toy industry and that it's a very great onboarding process into the industry. Now, could you tell us a little bit about what your favorite part of today has been so far?
Favorite part of today is seeing the inspiration can literally come from anywhere. And talking to a young kid, young girl who's 6 years old, and all the way up to teenagers, and seeing what is important to them in their own personal life and seeing it brought to life in a physical product is fantastic. And that some of the things presented today, I didn't even get to see them all, but some of the things presented today could actually be things that you would find or products you would find on store shelves. And that is so inspirational because one of the things that we forget in working in this industry is that inspiration is seen and things that are important are seen and valued differently by everyone, but especially by kids. Kids do not have the same level of blinders or biases in place, so their levels of creativity are a lot more limitless in that there's less structure, so they're not afraid to try something because they are interested in it. And that's very refreshing. I think when we in the professional space work in this space as professionals, we lose sight of that sometimes. We have a very specific task we're looking to accomplish, and we don't allow ourselves necessarily to just try something. And it's okay that it fails or it doesn't work because from that exercise, we'll learn something and we can apply it to the next one. So today it was great because some of the kids showed their first prototype and their second prototype, and they learned and grew from each of those. And so that learning and that communicating and that uh, ability to be risk averse in their attempts was fantastic.
Well, Tony, thank you so much for joining us on this episode. We both learned a lot, and I think all of the advice that you gave and everything that you said was extremely helpful. So, thank you for joining us for the Young Collaborator podcast series. You can listen to this episode and others at www.innovationworld.org. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
See you.
Pleasure to be here.
Thank you. It was.